Hello and welcome to Dr. Fitness USA, the show. Exercise is medicine, strength training is stronger medicine. With your host Batista Gramode and myself, Stephen Hersey, aka Dr. Fitness USA.
Well, hello everybody and welcome to Dr. Fitness USA, the show. I'm Batista, your host, and I'm here with Stephen Hersey, who is also known as Dr. Fitness USA, my co-host. And today we have an exceptional guest for you. Dr. Fouad Ghaly is one of the most influential physicians in regenerative medicine therapies. He has participated in numerous conferences worldwide and collaborated on projects with distinguished international groups of leading physicians, researchers, and scientists. Dr. Fouad Ghaly created the world-famous Ghaly Center for Regenerative Medicine in 1995. He incorporates innovative scientific research, alternative therapies, state-of-the-art technology, and conventional medicine to customize treatment plans for maximum health. Welcome to the show, Dr. Ghaly. We're so excited and honored to have you with us today.
Thank you very much for having me on the show. Thanks to Steve. You're so kind for inviting me.
To get started, what about if you told us a little bit about what is stem cell therapy and how does it work?
Regenerative medicine is basically the type of medicine that regenerate us. People always wondered, when I was 30, I feel fantastic, but now when I'm 40, I feel okay, but not exactly like when I used to see 40 and when I used to be 30. And then when you're 50, you said, well, gee, what happened to me? I have aches, pains. When I have injury, it takes me a long time to recover, etc., etc. Because there are the cellular function is reduced and impaired in such a way that is not able to meet the challenges of our daily life. Every day we go on living that particular, these chores that we do during the day has an impact on us. And we need to rest, which is sleep, to recover and start another day. The duration of rest that we need when we are older is a lot longer than the duration when we're young. So that means what? There is cellular reduction or malfunction, or you don't have adequate, cellular function. So that brings us to what? To what you call the stem of your cell. Stem means a stem of a tree, for example, that has leaves and has fruits. So the cells that are stem is the cells that are actually having the full power and ability to produce new generation of function. Now, the mature adult stem cell now is used to treat a whole host of difficulties as we age. And this is where the use of new cells or stem cell come into play.
So one of the things I want to ask is about muscles. How important is the muscles in the body to be exercised or keep the strength up as we age? Because a lot of times people, it could be male or female, they always have the expression, oh, I don't need muscles, I'm okay, I'm fine. We ask them, what exercise do you do? Oh, I walk, I push myself away from the table, and that's what I call dieting. We have a lot of fictitious answers.
as we are growing from childhood to adulthood, we increase our muscle mass adequately to support our skeletal system. Muscles is your motor system in your body, and that gives us the mobility, the functionality. And if you don't take care of your muscles when you're young, later on, your muscle says, hey, you failed me when I was growing and demanding it to be used. You're not using it. So therefore, I will fail you when you're older. It's unfortunate. So in other words, if you take care of your muscles, it will serve you well in your later years of life. Muscles are such an important system in our body because, first of all, it improves the metabolism. It improves the cardiac function. It improves the elimination of a lot of waste, and by burning certain calories, and these calories don't stay put, and then it transforms into fat, and fat is a small amount of fat is acceptable. In fact, it's useful, but a lot of fat is toxic and could be actually cause of a disease. Just greater amount of fat on anybody's body is actually creating toxic load where you don't need to. Now, the interesting thing is muscles plays a major role in osteoporosis. If you have strong muscles as you age, you defray, or you postpone, or you counteract the process of osteoporosis. The interesting thing is, having adequate muscle function, you increase something called VO2 max. And the VO2 max is defined as the volume of oxygen utilized by a kilogram muscle mass per minute. When you are young, if you have efficient muscle, you have what you call high oxygen VO2 max. As you age, the VO2 max goes down and down and down. So the more the VO2 max you have, the greater the performance you can do. As a matter of fact, the VO2 max is the gold standard that will identify an athlete that he will be an Olympic candidate or can participate in the Olympics versus the one that is not exactly. So the VO2 is medicated by the efficiency of your muscle function and your ability to use your muscle. The greater the amount of oxygen utilized, the greater everything in your body is up to normalcy. So muscle is a must. So I agree with you.
Great, right? So unfortunately, now we find people in their 60s, that grew up with the aerobics phase, the Jane Fonda, where there's a lot of aerobics, and now they find themselves in their 60s and they don't realize that, like, for example, aerobic activity is not really a muscle building activity. And now they're in a place where they're not young anymore, and now they have to live with the consequences.
Yeah, I see your point. Aerobics were big when Jim Fixx introduced that aerobic wave it was aerobic mania. Everybody was aerobics. But now the pendulum have swung the other way, and it is not always what you call weight training. It's a combination of aerobics and weight training. You really need to have muscle strength and muscle bulk and muscle weight, without which you always have a weak muscle function. And not only this, but it has an impact on your balance, your ability to present yourself adequately, your functionality, etc.
So do you think that a person that starts at 60 years old who has, for example, osteoporosis already, that if they started strength training or muscle building at that age, that they could do something to reverse osteoporosis or at least stabilize it?
Actually, it will be very helpful for that patient, and it will actually reverse osteoporosis. It's been proven. There are a lot of studies that shows weight training in particular and weight bearing exercise actually improves the bone metabolism and building up new structure of osteoblasts and osteocytes and stuff. So to increase bone density.
Beautiful. So ladies and gentlemen, get your teens involved in building muscle because you need to start. The earlier you start, the better. However, if you are in your 60s, in your 70s, it's not too late. You can still do something about it.
Dr. Fitness USA's vision is to create a stronger, healthier society of people enjoying vibrant health, unshakable self-confidence, and a sculpted body they'll fall in love with. Our custom-tailored formulas act as the GPS to your ultimate transformation so you can reach your destination faster and safer without injury. The Feminine Body Design program teaches a woman the art of strength training from a female perspective and helps her achieve the feminine physique she always dreamed of having. The Design Formula program teaches men to achieve a sculpted manly physique without injuries. Seniors can tap into the fountain of youth, get a new lease on life, rebuild their strength, and eliminate aches and pains. Those with injuries learn to rehabilitate them, recover mobility, and relieve back, neck, shoulder, and knee pain.
Now, with working with Steven, just in, 4 workouts I think so far, if that, I have no pain in my knees like I used to.
Suddenly a quietness in the mind, clarity.
I mean, I don't have back pain anymore. It's amazing. It's just really amazing.
I'm Bernie Dorman. I'm founder and chairman of CEO Space International, and I so endorse Dr. Fitness for leaders to have better lives. He does the inside and the outside to make sure you're the best leader you can ever be. And yesterday was already too late to say yes.
If your mind can conceive it and your heart can believe it, then Dr. Fitness USA can help you achieve it.
How does the weight bearing and the muscle affect brain health?
That's a very good question. The more you increase your weight-bearing exercise, you stimulate your brain centers, especially the motor centers of the brain, to actually increase its functionality. It would respond to the extra weight that you're using by reducing what you call brain atrophy. So you actually helping the brain function as well as your intellect, your ability to cope with circumstances in life, and your functionality, both neuro and muscular, neuromuscular.
So that would be helpful for things like neurodegenerative diseases, Alzheimer's, dementia, which is very prominent now in our society, correct?
So you and for example, in rehabilitation centers, they always do have they have in their program some exercise program and some weight bearing program. The patient actually tells you that I feel better. So indeed, it reflects on the exercises that the patient does.
How is it important, especially for women, to actually strength train?
It's critically important. First of all, most women are anxious to lose weight, and I understand that clearly. But if they lose from the wrong compartment of their body, it's very easy to do that by restricting diet to the extreme, or by doing all other things, and as a result of that, the first component of their body, they lose muscle. They don't lose fat. So when they go and weigh on the scale, and the scale is dumb. Why? Because they only can measure dead weight. In other words, whatever weight you put on the scale, it tells you, you are heavy or light. So all of a sudden they lose 10 pounds at a time. You say, wow, I lost 10 pounds. But in reality, what they have lost, they lost a component, a very valuable and precious component, which is what drives their motor by burning calories. Which is that? What is that? It is the muscle. It's very easy to burn muscle. Why? Muscle is made out of protein, and protein is easy to burn off. Why? Because it's the muscle molecule, the protein molecule, is made out of carbohydrate and amino acid. They take the amino acid out and they use the carbohydrate, which is that like sugar, and it's very easy to, and as a result of that, they break it down and they produce energy for them to live on. And the fat molecule, on the other hand, is very slow to burn. And the fat molecule, or fat gram, 1 gram of fat yields 9 calories of energy, 9 calories. The muscle, when you lose 1 gram of muscle, it yields only 4 grams. Why? Because it's similar to the molecule or the gram of carbohydrate. And it's easier for the body to burn the gram of muscle or a gram of carbohydrate before it dips into burning the fat, the gram of fat that yields 9 calories. So women become so happy that they lost weight, but in reality, they lost a precious part of their body, which is muscle, that later on in the future will burn the calories. So they will be burning calories at a slower pace. That sets them for the future stage where they gain more weight of what? Fat. So it's become a vicious cycle. So you end up by having a yo-yo. They lose weight, they gain weight, they lose weight, and then they become weak. And then later in their life, all of a sudden they have osteoporosis. So catch can, you can't catch it anymore. When it's gone, it's gone. So the idea is, ladies, lose from the fat and preserve your muscle. How to do that is to increase your weight-bearing exercise. A little bit of aerobic is important as well, but you must preserve your muscle mass. So even if some women in my program, for example, they say, we didn't lose any weight. My second question to them, how are your clothes? Do they feel looser on you? Yes. Oh my God, I have to change and buy new clothes. I said, what happened? But you didn't lose weight. He said, we don't know. I says, let me tell you. The reason for that is you lost fat and you made muscle. You gained muscle. So therefore, a small piece of muscle, that much, equals the weight of that huge portion of fat. It's like a pound of popcorn has a huge volume, and a pound of muscle is that small. So therefore, when you lost the fat, your clothes feel looser on you because you lost volume, and that's what you want. Hello, my name is Dr. Ghaly. My main area of practice is regenerative medicine. Regenerative medicine means to make you feel good, look good, enjoy your life, and live your life to the fullest, and experience what life is all about at any age. In my 40 years of practice, I can tell you, I am so excited. This is a very exciting time to be living in, because the discoveries in medicine is immense. And actually, it helps us to uncover many mysteries of our existence. Now, for example, the human genome has been mapped. We can identify quite a few defects that could be change our future, as well as we can use stem cells, your own stem cells. We don't borrow it from anybody else. We can use umbilical cord tissue. We can work on a micro level, which is molecular level in your cell. We can give you intravenous nutrition, intravenous other amino acids that supply neurotransmitters, for example. So therefore, not only we have at our hands the tools to take care of, but we're always in the search of increasing your vitality, your sense of well-being, and your joy for life. And that's why I'm really excited about our time.
I have a key question here. We'll go to a male. So the male is in their 50s. They strength train, but they're eating meal like a small little breakfast in the morning, a little bit late at night, and they're skipping all their meals. And when I question them, I say, your food intake could lead to serious consequences. But they say, oh, well, I feel fine. I don't have any indigestion. I sleep really well. But the fact is, they only had 2 meals a day with very little protein.
When you start your day, you need calories to burn, and when you don't deliver these calories to the body learns to conserve. And when they conserve, they enter into the kind of famine stage where the body, when you give them calories later on, they store it as fat. So, so you end up by building a belly, building a little bit of this, a little bit of that, so you increase your fat content. So what you said is actually not healthy.
That would also really impair the ability of the body to repair itself, like for injuries and things like this, right? We need the nutrients and the calories and the protein for the body to repair, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, you find the athletes, for example, are your best example that they repair and they recover a lot faster than those who are living a sedentary life. So there's no question about it. So the bodily repair, if you don't have the basic elements to use for repair, of course, your repair will be delayed. But when you delay any repair, you get complications.
Also, in terms of emotional health, emotional stability, depression, and all this, I've heard and I've read that the research shows that strength training actually strengthens the nervous system before it even strengthens the muscles. Can you address that emotional state?
And any training you actually increase the endorphins. So a lot of people, they say, well, after my exercise, I feel so good. I feel content. I can think better. I can deal with, I cope with problems better. And there are executives that actually have a routine of exercise. This way, they are able to meet their executive function a lot better and cope. You end up by having a more expansive attitude as far as looking at problems, and instead of you become less short-tempered. If you don't have a span of being able to think or solve a problem, you end up by either having a short temper or you express your thoughts in a more impulsive way, etc. So I agree with you. So exercise is very important for the mental health.
Women have a fear, they give an excuse, they have a fear of getting bulky if they do strength training. Can we address that?
You get bulky if you have an increased testosterone production. But women are endowed with estrogen, and as a result of that, they don't have that tendency to become bulky. And some women athletes actually supplement with testosterone, which I don't advise unless it has to be under doctor's observation and control. And this way we don't overdose them with testosterone. But normally speaking, they don't.
What's your thought on hormone replacement therapy for women and men?
We are born with hormones, and we call them hormones. This is a man-given name to these substances, but these substances are vital for our growth. So as we age, we lack the ability to have adequate hormones in our body. Therefore, our muscles do not respond to the exercise level that we are demanding of our muscle to perform. So therefore, what we do, we don't replace hormones to make you 18 years of age again. We support you to maybe become 49 years of age or so. So in other words, we don't say, I'm going to make you, performing like a 24 years old young man or a woman. No, we support you adequately enough to have the full strength and function of a person in the middle years of their life.
Can you address the difference between yoga as a muscle, or yoga versus weight-bearing activity for building muscle mass?
Yoga does not build muscle mass. It's simple as that. Yoga is great for mental relaxation, flexibility. Yoga is a phenomenal spiritual exercise. There's nothing wrong with that. However, does it build muscle mass? No, it doesn't. So, do we need yoga? Yes. Do we need muscle building exercise? Yes. So each has a place to play, and each has a role to play, of course. But two different things. You can't replace one for the other.
What about things like CrossFit, HIIT, insanity routines, Spartan races? They're proven to have a really high rate of injuries. What's your take on that?
All these are cross training, what you call triathlon. All that deals with the aerobic function of our body. But if you want to perform in any of those, you really need to increase muscle mass. For example, if in the past, swimmers always did laps back and forth, but now we found out that a performer performance of a swimmer is enhanced if I added in his routine of exercise muscle building exercises. They go and outperform the person that did only aerobic exercise. And the same thing for a runner. All the track and field athletes, they do weight training and heavy weight training at that. So they do a combination of muscle. You engage your muscle in more ways to promote certain function of the muscle. There is what you call a fast twitch and slow twitch fiber, and it all depends. One support the other, and as a result of that, you need both to enhance your performance or to reach a peak performance level rather than an adequate performance level. And meanwhile, if you increase your muscle mass, it's always good for the future stability on your feet, lower rate of injuries, because you're less apt to develop muscle injury because you have adequate muscle to carry your body and carry your daily activities. So weight bearing will always serve you in your later years of life, no question about it.
What do you say to the person that says they have time?
Well, if you have time to take care of who you are, you will not have time for anything else in life. As simple as that. So it's your preference. What is it that you want to do? A short period of time or a longer, enjoyable period of life? So it's a priority, and one should keep that in mind.
Well, people always have this idea that one day they'll just magically get up and start exercising out of nowhere.
Yeah, well, it doesn't happen that way, no.
So is there anything else that we haven't asked that you want to talk about or leave with the audience?
Well, life is a challenge, and the more we set our brain to meet that challenge and caring for us, in other words, each one of us should care for himself and put himself in the best condition for his health, the greater we will become as functioning humans. And the more we neglect ourselves in not only one arena but other arenas, therefore we don't reach the fulfillment of enjoying our life. So the point is, what do you want to be? You want to enjoy your life or you don't? So it's a question for you to answer.
That was great. So where can people find you?
Yes, it's called the Ghaly Center LA, www.the Center LA. You can find me on Facebook. I have an office in Torrance, California.
Do you have any last words, any last burning desires?
Well, I suggest if you have issues going on that you actually book an appointment with the Ghaly Center. Dr. Ghaly is very busy, but through my experience, I'm in the sports world. Ghaly's been the most wonderful, most informative doctor that I've run across, and he's been able to answer questions, and no doctor has been able to do so. So I suggest to people that if they want a super informed source, that they actually book an appointment and meet Dr. Ghaly in person.
Thank you very much, Steve. You're so kind. I enjoyed visiting with you, and when you came to my office, and I see your phenomenal interest in caring for patients and taking care of their physique and muscle function. And I admire all your efforts, because you, out of your own intrinsic heart desire to reach a stage where the patient outperform and use their abilities to outperform others. That's great, Steve. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
It's been another amazing episode of Dr. Fitness USA, the show. Thank you so much, Dr. Ghaly, for your presence and all your information. And until next time, bye now.
Thank you for inviting me. Appreciate it.